What's going on, all of you outstanding Outriders? My name is William, and in today's video, we're going to be talking about the nerfs that are coming to Outriders. If you want to read all of this stuff for yourself, feel free to check out the link in the description below. Now, some of this stuff is absolutely merited. Others, I'm not quite so sure. But as always, we're not seeing all the numbers, and they are. And as they have already stated, they are going to be monitoring all these changes in the event that things are either too strong or too weak of a buff/nerf. But without further ado, let's get into it. I will be quoting the Arkin over on Reddit for all of this who is on the dev team. First up, we have rebalancing. All of this stuff does not require a patch, so the next time you log into the game, all of these changes will have taken effect. So, a couple general balancing notes. Historian, Bounty Hunter, and Monster Hunt quests no longer grant legendary items for each subsequent completion. They go on to add, while rewarding players for completing all the Historian, Bounty Hunter, and Monster Hunt quests is still our intention, we did observe unintended results when players repeated this activity in combination with a specific multiplayer bug. With this reward adjustment, we want to eliminate this exploit behavior while also still making that quest line worth the effort. Players who took advantage of this exploit will not be punished. It is a little disappointing that the Historian, Bounty Hunter, and Monster Hunt quests no longer give legendary items. For me, that kind of just kills those three things altogether and eliminates some of that content replayability. Because let's be honest, once we get to that endgame, we're hunting down legendaries. However, on the flip side of that coin, I am all for exploits being eliminated. So it's kind of a weird double-edged sword. On the one hand, I get it. On the other, it really kills that replayability, and it's a shame because I really enjoyed those monster hunts. There has also been an adjustment to the loot on specific enemies, such as the Tuka Beast, Split Tooth, Sand Shifter, and Cold Claw. These particular beasts are being too generous considering the required effort to take them down. I don't know what they're talking about, but cool. Like I said, they've got all the numbers on their end, and we don't. So for all we know, this change is definitely merited. Now, I've already seen a lot of feedback on these two things, but it's the Chem Plant and Boomtown. Their expedition time for gold, silver, and bronze have been adjusted to be considerably shorter in some areas. I've already seen players who have managed to no-life this game and grind to the highest echelon, and they're not even able to get it on those times. For example, the Chem Plant expedition time for gold, silver, and bronze have been adjusted to 650, 1150, and 1500 seconds respectively. Previously, it was 957, 1303, and 1650. Essentially shortening everything down by 2 to 3 minutes. A little concerning, but we'll see how that goes. Also, crit rating damage modifiers have been changed on the Tactical Assault Rifle and Marksman Rifle. For the Tactical Assault Rifle, it has been reduced to 165, previously 175, not a big deal. And then the critical rating damage multiplier for the Marksman Rifle has been reduced to 250, which was previously 300. Marksman rifles with a 300% crit rate showed up to be dominating multiple crit builds. By making the modifier the same as for the bolt-action rifle, we wanted to offer players more options when choosing what gun to use. For me, that makes total sense. I dig it. The duration of the Massacre AP buff has also been reduced to 3 seconds. This is only a temporary measure, however, as they are trying to find an issue with the stacking cap. Now, this is the real meat and potatoes of the nerf, specifically for Trickster, Technomancer, and Pyromancers. There has been a nerf to the bullet abilities, such as Twisted Rounds, Blighted Rounds, and Volcanic Rounds. Their statement is, quote, "While we fully intend to provide the overpowered feel for the best builds out there, we are also committed to making sure that there is a build diversity in the top performing builds." Late in the demo lifecycle, we discovered a bug with regards to the bullet augmentation abilities damage calculation formula. While we fixed this bug, some unforeseen imbalances were unfortunately introduced, which has led to bullet-based abilities vastly outperforming other skills. The main problem with this is that such bullet-based builds require much less investment to make them top tier compared to other builds. To achieve this, we've made a couple adjustments for the Trickster and Technomancer classes, who benefit the most from their bullet ability powers. It is uncertain as to whether these changes will prove too strong or too weak, so please do consider this to be only the first step. As we will continue monitoring and adjusting them in the future, just like you, we hope to see more inspiring and crazy combinations of abilities and mods. So in other words, the base cooldown for the Twisted Round skill has increased to 25 seconds, previously 16 seconds. They add that quote, "While infinite uptime on bullet abilities was always our intention, it is intended to be high-risk, high-reward playstyle." However, given the current power of this skill, there is very little risk involved in this ability given its short cooldown, even when players fail to trigger ammo replenishment. Increasing this cooldown in combination with adjusting its damage should increase that risk and make this playstyle a little more thrilling of an experience. The Trickster Hero Tree nodes, Disruptive Firepower, Scion of Power, and Outrider Executioner have had their power reduced to 35%, which were previously 50%. Additionally, Vulnerable Status power has been reduced to 15%, which was previously 25%, and the Technomancer Hero Tree node, Damage Against Poison, has had its power reduced to 15%, previously 30%. While the Technomancer's Blighted Rounds do not provide any damage increase on their own, other than ignoring armor as anomaly damage, they do provide an excellent tool for spreading the vulnerable and toxic statuses, which in turn can scale out of proportion. And then lastly, the Pyromancer Hero Tree node, Trial of Ashes, has been reduced to 15 extra damage, which was previously 30%. Now, these are major nerfs, and they do hurt a little bit of that power fantasy. Right now, I'm running a Volcanic Rounds build. And while yes, it is my primary build because it deals the most damage, it's because I don't want to spend 5 minutes tearing down a boss, or mowing down ads. I guess my alternative backseat developer opinion would be to buff the other skill trees or buff the other abilities, not tear down the abilities. This happened with Anthem consistently, and this still happens with Destiny. Buff the other abilities to be on par, so you don't lose that power fantasy. But of course, that's easier said than done. Blanketly buffing everything never ends well. But I don't know, something about this just doesn't feel right. I can't wait to get my hands on it when the game eventually comes back online from their maintenance. But anyways, what do you all think? Disappointed about the legendary drop rates being decreased? Or, Technomancer, Trickster, and Pyromancer getting a little bit of a nerf there? Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments section below, and as always, I will reply if there's conversational potential. And if you enjoyed the video and want to stay up to date on all things about Outriders, then please be sure to leave a like and subscribe, as it really does help me out and allows me to reach more Outriders just like you. I hope all of you outstanding Outriders have an absolutely awesome day as always, and I'm looking forward to seeing each and every last one of you in the next video very soon.